Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. You will notice we are only three tonight. Zora's not feeling well, so since she has already done this quest line, we are going to press forward with it for KJ and Emo, and if we catch up with her tonight, we will pick up where she left off. If not, we will see her next time. So, let's dive on in. Hey, we are live. And just to make sure that my quest didn't reset in any way, my quest says speak to Lewenhart.
Yes.
Okay. What was that terrible explosion coming from the beach? Is everyone safe? Fear not. The fiend's artless attempt on my life has been thwarted. Sadly, your food supply did not escape unscathed. Master Gugaremo bids that the damaged ingredients be replaced with all speed. Good gods! This is no thief. This is a madman. As for replacing the ingredients, I fear that will prove a difficult task. Those crates contained imported vegetables of considerable rarity, you see. Vegetables that are in particularly short supply these days, what with the mandragoras at large. Even if I were to place the order immediately, it would take several days to arrive. The mandragoras? I have heard of that fell band. Tell me, what manner of vegetables did they steal? The rarest was an import from the Far East. I do not recall the name, but it was it very closely resembled Eorzean dragon pepper, save for its color, which was a deep purple. Methinks you just worry too much, Master Luinar. Our course of action is clear. We need only storm into the den of these overgrown weeds and steal your precious purple dragon peppers right back. I would advise against that, Inspector. These are no ordinary mandragoras, but rather a bloodthirsty band of killers given succulent flesh. Even the brass blades of the Gerba proved unable to resist them. Oh, a formidable foe indeed. Were only there a brave soul in our midst with a want for taking on fearsome enemies with not a shred of concern for his own well-being. Your eyes, friend, they speak to me. They say, yes, I shall vanquish these rogue vegetables and deliver their purloined goods back to their rightful owner.
I'm surprised he's volunteering us and not volunteering himself.
True. But if you do remember, he strained a muscle and couldn't do the dance to summon his father last night either.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
You are truly a godsend, adventurer. One Sudhimmel of the Yellow Jackets has been charged with defending those roads from the Mandragoras. If anyone would have knowledge of their current whereabouts, it would be him. Without those ingredients, Master Gugaremo is like to cook me instead. Please, friend, you're my only hope. A gentleman would never let his comrade face danger alone. Let us away to Limsa together.
Need to hook him up to another rocket and send him in space. To the moon and back.
Oh, him with the Loporits would be funny.
Indeed.
Now, can you imagine the nightmare that they would have to deal with and try to change everything?
They could build him a maze. He'd never get out.
True. Well, I don't know. He's got the damnedest luck. I mean, Urianger might try to get rid of him first.
Send him to the end of the universe.
There we go.
But then he'd come back with Xenos, and we couldn't have that.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
If you've come for the Mandragoras, I fear you're half a bell too late. As were we, blast it all. To hear the poor merchant tell it, no sooner had he opened his cargo hold to check out his shipment of vegetables than did an onion turn on him, screeching bloody murder. Fled his own vessel in sheer terror, he did. By the time he came to his senses, it had set sail without him. The merchant left for Aleport, hoping to recoup his losses. If you've a mind to go after the culprits, you might lend an ear to his sad tale. Ah, is the thrill of the chase not invigorating, friend? The ferry docked by Fisherman Bottom will carry us to Aleport. Let us be swiftly on our way.
I mind to teleport and be there before him.
Be right back. I need to turn the air on.
I was just thinking it was cold. Maybe we should turn the air off.
I am back. According to the thermometer I have next to my computer, it's 80 degrees in here.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, back.
Welcome back. Don't sneak up on me like that. Thought you were a feral turnip, a murderous eggplant, or something like that. Think I jest, do you? You'd be singing a different tune if a shot of tomato juice almost took out your eye, as it did mine. My eye! By the time I'd regained my wits, they'd already set sail with me ship and me livelihood. I'm ruined. Ruined! If I never see another bleeding onion till the end of my days, it'll be too soon. The tiny trader would ask you to save the realm from the vegetal scourge. To hear most say it, the Mandragoras are a nasty lot, a right pain in the arse to farmers and provisioners the realm over. But let me tell you, friend, that ain't the least of it. Freeing their fellow fronds from our larders and tables is but the beginning. The bulbous blackguards have a far grander scheme. Revolution. Madness, ye say? Take a ferry to the Isles of Umbra and see with your own eyes. A veritable vegetable kingdom where eggplants and turnips rule with an iron fist. This muscle-bound fellow with a dim expression. I could swear I've seen his face somewhere before. Bugger me, if it ain't the undead overlord what fancies himself a gentleman inspector. Which would make you... Aye, could it be? The adventurer what bested the thieving duelist in single combat? Yes, we did that. Well, bugger me and call me inspector. Tell me, is it true the duelist traveled with a demon bird whose crow could split the heavens? But that's neither here nor there. Look, I don't know about you, but I ain't so keen on the notion of calling a bloody tomato your grace. And that's exactly the fate we're in for if we don't nip this revolution in the bud, and I mean that literally. As we speak, the Mandragoras are planting themselves a whole army of their own kind on the Isles of Umbra. You'd be doing the whole realm a favor if you could go there and uproot them, before the harvest comes. Many a case have I solved in my day, but I've not matched wits with a sentient plant life before. This should prove quite exhilarating. To the Isles of Umbra. I find it funny that a potato is sending us on this quest.
What potato?
The tiny merchant.
You feel a hostile gaze upon you. You feel a hostile gaze upon you. You feel a hostile gaze upon you. How did you end up like this time, Hildibrand? Friend, my pursuit of the Mandragoras has led me beneath the surface. Yes, they must be down here. Somewhere. Oh, he crammed himself down there. Commence the thing and level sync.
These are all the vegetable plants I'm trying to grow. The, not plants, but you know what I mean, the pets.
Yeah, I understood.
Okay, who do we need to kill first?
Don't think it matters. I'm also not sure if they even care about aggro, so...
You don't have aggro on, though.
Oh, you're right, I don't. I checked before I synced. You returned. Here you might end up a tasty snack for a crazed head of cabbage. The stolen foodstuffs. You've saved my hide today. Oh, but I must see if those purple dragon peppers are intact. Master Guguremo is quite particular about his seasonings. Oh, can I come too? I've never seen a purple dragon pepper before. That wild vegetable chase was a pleasant diversion, but it is time we return to the case. Now there must be some clue that yet eludes us. The peppers have changed colors. What's this? Peppers that possess the same powers of disguise as our many-faced foe? A gentleman must needs investigate. A striking shade of blue, quite far from the purple that Master Lewenhart described. Perhaps we recovered the wrong crate? But look here, Inspector. The crate is clearly marked for Costa del Sol. How curious. Did I say purple? I meant purplish blue, or bluish purple. The two colors are really quite similar when you think about it. These peppers have a most distinctive hue. No man could reasonably mistake it for any shade of purple. Unless, of course, he was wearing a very particular set of eyewear at the time. Ha! The charade is up! After that man! It is as I suspected all along. The goggles have proved the key to cracking the case. With speed, Nashu. The fiend must be brought to justice. Like how we just stand there and everybody else runs off.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
You can run, but you cannot... Aha! If you thought you could outsprint this Manderville man, you were sorely mistaken. For pilfering a priceless blade, threatening a maiden's virtue, and untold crimes against the law-abiding citizens of Eorzea, I, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, hereby place you under arrest. Done in by a sniper. A fitting end for an ignoble thief. Let us see what lies behind the mask. Where am I? Who are you? Ha! Playing the fool will avail you naught. I suggest you come willingly. A gentleman is not given to violence, but should you attempt to resist, I disavow responsibility for any shattered skulls or broken bones. Wait. I remember now. I was on my way to meet Miss Arabella when... Miss Arabella! I must find her at once. Ugh, my head. It would seem that this man wears no mask. This is the true Lewinhart. I swear on my life that is so. I was en route to the estate in Wineport when one of the brass blades on patrol approached me. We exchanged greetings, and in the next instant he turned on me. I fought desperately to defend myself, even managed to drive a kitchen knife into the man's right hand. In the end, though, he proved too strong for me. Now that you mention it, the imposter was wearing gloves. I knew there was something suspicious about him. There is still time before the banquet begins. Knowing our quarry, he has doubtless already assumed a new identity. And yet he could not have foreseen this turn of events. It is unlikely that he had time to thoroughly research his new target. More importantly, we know now that the thief has suffered a wound to his right hand. We need return to Costa del Sol and examine the hands of all present. An excellent plan, Inspector. While you do so, we shall accompany Lewinhart back to the estate, that we might ensure Miss Arabella's safety. I have found you, my little ones. Let me guess, you seethe with anger at those that took from you what is yours. Then it would appear our goals are of accord. Make for Costa del Sol and await my orders. When the time is right, revenge will be yours. The game is afoot, inspectors. Now, what mask shall I wear to the ball? Miss Arabella, what are you doing out here? You must return to the estate at once. Oh, Lewin. Always the worrier. Your concern is touching, but I am a woman grown. Besides, I just wanted to see the flowers. Lovely though these flowers may be, they are as unsightly weeds when measured against your beauty. I am Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire. Please, call me Hildy. The pleasure is mine, my lord. Much have I heard of your deeds. Tell me, are these rumors of the many-faced thief true? I fear they are, Miss Arabella. But still your gentle heart, for as long as Hildibrand is on the case, the fiend shall not lay a twisted finger upon you. This I swear on the Vanderville name. The gods smile on me indeed, to send such a strong and handsome gentleman as my champion. And yet... you seem pensive, milady. Is something the matter? To tell the truth, this marriage has been arranged against my wishes. I do not love Vines. Why, I have not even met him. He sent me this clasp as a betrothal gift, a treasure from my treasure. Wear it always, the message said. I do not care how beautiful it is. It might as well be a golden shackle. Miss Arabella, you must not say such things. An arranged marriage to a youth you have not yet even met? Unconscionable. Father says that this marriage must happen, that it is for the future of the family trade. Spoken like a true old Don, but if I may be bold, milady, would I be correct in assuming that you and your father are not related by blood? Quite so. Father found me amongst the beggars on Pearl Lane when I was just a babe. He took me in and raised me as his own. He took Lewin in as well, though as servant rather than son. You may think father a cold and miserly man, but to me he is the man who gave me warmth and hope when I had none. I will learn to love Vance if that will make father happy. You cannot be serious, Miss Arabella. You're a beautiful young woman with your whole life ahead of you. Surely you would not have to look far to find a gentleman with whom you would rather spend the rest of your days. If I have to spend another hour with you, I'm like to lose my wits. But anyway, we should return to Costa del Sol and see how the inspector's investigation fares. I as well must prepare for the banquet. Farewell, friends. With a maiden's virtue hanging in the balance, Hildibrand would hasten back to Costa del Sol. We've not a moment to lose, friend. The time for our final confrontation with the fiend is nigh. Our foe has doubtless assumed a new identity, but have no fear. Upon our return to Costa del Sol, I shall employ the time-tested Manderville art of parley to cut through the fiend's flimsy facade. 'Tis an art that I would impart to you as well, my friend, though there will be time enough for that once our foe is in shackles and Miss Arabella is safe. No doubt it shall prove as invaluable in your adventures as it has with my investigations, or failing that, serve to entertain you when you have nothing better to do. But I digress. A gentleman must away to Costa del Sol. The fair maiden's life hangs in the balance. Nashu, Miss Ellie, with me. Inspector Briarden, I have seen to the maiden's safety. Miss Arabella will be along soon. How fares your investigation? I have canvassed the grounds, but none of the guests are concealing their hands. How could this be? The thief must be somewhere. Miss Arabella just left her estate, I hear. I suppose we'll find out soon enough if her beauty is truly a match for our own. There's no time. Without the thief in custody, we cannot risk allowing Miss Arabella to take the stage. But, Inspector, Vance and his family will not take kindly to his betrothed's absence. That is nothing of my concern. Besides, doubtless the inspector here will think of something. Me? What do you propose? You're the expert at creating diversions. Can't you knock something over, blow something up, or the like? You know, like you always do. Inspector Briarden, I knew the day would come that you recognized my many talents. Worry not about Master Vans. Yes, for the sake of the maiden, a gentleman will do what must needs be done. The poor sop lacks even the wits to know that he's being insulted. Now to the task at hand. We must find a way to conceal Miss Arabella's true identity. Not far from here are the servants' quarters. There should be a change of clothes lying about. Perfect. Find some suitable ordinary garb and deliver it to Miss Arabella outside the gates. I shall proceed with the investigation.
I want to see his hand.
He is wearing gloves, isn't he?
Yes,
I was just trying to recall if he was before.
he was.
Of course, I also note Ellie is wearing gloves. Hildibrand is wearing gloves. Nashu is the only one not wearing gloves.
But we were with Hildibrand. Well, I guess we really weren't.
Well, I will say this. If the guy is disguised as Hildibrand, he deserves whatever he's getting because he's putting on a good act.
Yeah.
True.
Honestly, does have half gloves on though. Oh no, I'm sorry. I was looking at Ellie. I'm a dork.
Has the Lapis Maiden arrived yet? I simply must look upon her beauty for myself. Servant's garb, you say? I much prefer what you're wearing, but we certainly have enough rags to go around. Here you go. Do with them as you will.
She's wearing gloves. Like, there's lots of people wearing gloves.
Indeed. Neither Lewin nor Arabella are wearing gloves, but I do note that she is hiding one of her hands. Although not anymore.
Yeah.
Greetings, friend. Oh, what's that you have for me? Servant's garb. Sewn in a competent fashion by a reasonably talented tailor using materials of satisfactory quality. These garments have been kept in an acceptable shape and more than likely commanded an average to fair price at the market. The most average clothes you can possibly have. Gotcha. Servant's garb. But why? Miss Arabella, with the thief still at large, the risk of letting you be seen is too great. Change into those clothes and promise that you will not leave my sight. But the ceremony. Father will be furious, and Lord Vans. We are dealing with a man who tried to blast me to the heavens, and almost succeeded. We cannot exercise enough caution. As for the ceremony, I have entrusted the matter to a certain gentleman. You need only concern yourself with your own safety. You should do as the inspector says, Miss Arabella. Your life is more important than this marriage, or whatever profits your father stands to gain from it. Lewin, if father heard you say such things, should have said them long ago. But by not doing so, I have put your life in danger. But, besides, we have not one, but two skilled inspectors on the case. It will not be long until the fiend is brought to justice. Very well, I shall retreat to the carriage. Pray wait for me here. My apologies for the delay. What should I do with my banquet dress, Inspector? Bring Miss Arabella's dress to that bumbling inspector. I dare not speculate as to how he intends to see to his task, but I would imagine he requires all the help he can get. Now, let us return to before the festivities begin.
Well, I don't have the bag space for this.
I should go.
Hey, we're all wearing gloves.
Yep, we're all untrustworthy.
But sorry, what were you gonna say?
If I was going to say something, I don't remember what it was.
Okay, sorry.
Ah, you return. Me? I was in the act of formulating a master plan to distract Master Fawns at the ceremony. Is there aught I might do for you? Breathtaking dress. An expertly tailored dress certain to make eyes bulge and hearts stop. Why, this is Miss Arabella's dress. I must admit to some confusion as to what to do with it. But worry not. I shall take it into safekeeping. And with that, I must attend to Master Vaughn's before the ceremony begins. Worry not, friend. I assure you that Inspector Briarden and I have the situation entirely under control. Why not find yourself a seat and enjoy the festivities?
Where is she at? Thought she was supposed to be with Inspector Braun or whatever.
But we haven't seen him yet.
Where's
Oh,
it?
yeah, there he is. Curses, how am I supposed to find my man with all these people milling about? Friends, family, business associates, 'tis an honor and a pleasure to welcome one and all to Costa del Sol's for today's feast, co-hosted by the Brugiere Consortium and the East Alanard Trading Company. We trust that you've been enjoying fine food, fine spirits, and profitable conversation. The Lapis Maiden. If even half the tales of her beauty are true, Bonds is the luckiest bastard in the realm. Yaltanalto, Siena, honored guests. It's a great pleasure to announce the betrothal of my son, Vons, future chair of the Brugiere Consortium, to Arabella, daughter of Master Gugaremo of the East Alanard Trading Company. The couple would exchange their eternal vows here today, that the happiness that is theirs may usher in a new era of prosperity for one and all. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present my son's lovely bride, the Lapis Maiden, whose beauty minstrels will sing of for ages to come. Damn you, Hildibrand Manderville, you had one job. She's beautiful. Were the rabble expecting otherwise? She is my bride, after all. Milady, they say your beauty transcends even the boundaries of time. When we are wed, you will want for nothing. Pray, give your hand unto me. My sun and stars. Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. I am yours and shall be forevermore. What have you done with my bride, you cross-dressing deviant? Not quite what I had intended, but I suppose it serves our purposes. Fear not, ladies and gentlemen, for Miss Arabella is safe and sound. I, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, have but assumed the maiden's appearance to ensnare the vile fiend who would take aim at her life. The fiend who now lies defenselessly before me. The game is up, Vons. Or shall I call you by another name? The thief of many faces. Me? The thief? Are you mad? It appears that my masterful deductions have proved beyond the grasp of your mind. Very well, allow me to elucidate. While there is not a soul in the realm who has not heard the tales of Miss Arabella's beauty, there are but 2 men here in Costa del Sol who had gazed upon her lovely visage before today. Her father, Guguremu, and her steward, Lewenhart. As you yourself admitted on multiple occasions, Master Vons, you were to have your first glimpse of your bride to be today. Considered in this light, would you not say your reaction upon seeing my face most unnatural? Who else could see through my ingenious disguise? Who could know at a glance that I was not the fair maiden? None save you, ye of 1,000 faces. And anyone else with half their wits about them. How dare you make a mockery of my wedding day? Guards, arrest that pervert at once. Lock him up in jail and throw away the key. Arabella! Oh, thank the gods you're safe. Come with me quickly. There's a dangerous madman about.
Let's take that glove off.
A glove on his right hand. Could it be? Aha! The man is a fool, but it would have behooved you to listen to him. Alas, you did not, and what is yours is now mine. That's the thief! Stop wasting your time with that imbecile and arrest him. Came all this way for me? You love me. You really, really love me. The attention is most flattering, but I have taken what I came for, and now I must away. My lords, my ladies, till we meet again. I hear that the real Vons was found bound and gagged in a storage room. Truly, Miss Arabella, I am sorry. For what, my lady? The banquet was more exciting than I ever could have hoped for. Vons and his father were furious, of course, and our marriage has been called off. but perhaps it is for the best. I would find my own way to make Father happy, but living my life as I would live it. It is you, Inspector Hildibrand, who taught me this lesson. For the love of the gods, someone find him a change of clothes. But one thing still puzzles me. The thief's challenge said that he would steal the Lapis Maiden's virtue, yet in the end he only took her necklace. And now that you mention it, Master Gugarimo told me about the clasp when it was first arrived, engraved with the mark of the Sun Goddess. It is one of the most treasured pieces of the Bougier collection, also known as Aziema's virtue. The Maiden's virtue, indeed. When the next challenge comes, we must take extra care to read between the lines. Over here, Inspector. It says, made you look. The fiend plays us for fools. Give that to me at once. When next we meet, I shall come to claim the victor's spoils. Ugh, another riddle. If nothing else, it appears the thief has abandoned any foolish notions of my assassination. Still, we must ever be on guard. The fiend attempted murder once. He may very well do so again. Verily, Inspector, I must agree. One can never be too wary when dealing with a murderer. Hear me, man of 1,000 faces. You sealed your fate when you called me out by name. Mark my words, when next we meet, you will be mine. Yes, it was the Phantom Thief who was to blame for that bomb. Truly, verily, indubitably the Phantom Thief. Most certainly.
Thanks for doing the laugh.
Uh-huh. It was necessary. You have unlocked the parlay minigame. Entertain yourself as many a Manderville man has before you by opening the toy chest in any end room. And I have never done it, so I don't even know what it does. To the victor goes a priceless treasure. When the smile of a champion holds secrets untold. Are 8 legs better than 2? Can a Manderville man triumph over terrors and win the day? Hildibrand will return in the Colosseum Conundrum. The key to the next case is also the key to the storeroom, but be sure not to lose it. Wait, isn't a real key and it's a real key and a figurative one at the same time? Is that even possible? I guess we'll find out next time. Ellie has the latest information on the Phantom Thief's target. I was wondering when you'd show up. I've got the latest scoop on the Victor's spoils that our many-faced friend has set his sights on. Have you visited the Colosseum of late? There's a tourney in the works, and it's looking to be a big one. The Mithril Cup, sponsored by none other than Amelja and Sons Mineral Concern. They say that Master Fergus, which I'm just going to call Fergus from now on, Master Fergus will be furnishing the prizes himself from his personal collection. Small wonder it's captured the attention of Mr. Stickyfingers. You are familiar with the concern, yes? It's only the largest mining interest in the Sultanate, after all. The chairman, Master Fergus, sits on the syndicate, and possesses such wealth that rumor has it he could buy half the realm if he chose to. He's also renowned for being something of a martial arts enthusiast, with his position affording him little opportunity to test his own skills. He settles for living vicariously through the exploits of others, hence his sponsorship of tournaments like the Mithril Cup. My colleague, Ganelon, is in Ul'dah covering the tourney as we speak. If you were to track him down, I bet he'd be able to give us something to get our investigation started. Yeah, Hildibrand and the other guy, they're investigating. Ellie and I, or Ellie and us, we're investigating them.
Mm-hmm.
Because for the most part, we're just watching them do insane things. I also wonder if the Hildibrand questline is an opportunity for the devs to experiment with facial movement.
Uh-huh. Because Hildibrand has a lot of facial movement.
Uh-huh. Yes, he does. Yes, I'm a busy man. If you're looking for small talk, I suggest you look elsewhere. No need to be rude, Ganelon. He's a friend of mine. Now, what say you share your latest findings with us? I promise I'll make it worth your while. Ellie? It isn't the mithralized star reporter. Come to have a laugh at Ganelon's expense before returning to pin your latest front page feature, eh? Oh, very well. Just promise you'll put in a good word for me with the higher-ups, okay? Now, let me tell you this. There's strange things afoot at the Colosseum. Bugger all, it's a travesty, I tell you. Hotch, Hugh, Hymo, whatever is the matter? And where, pray tell, is Hutchin? The four of you will compete in the cup together, yes? I fear that an unfortunate mishap has left Hutchin in no condition to fight. We were just on our way to convey the dire news to Dower Meadow. Mishap, my arse. This was sabotage. Some bloody coward out there will stop at nothing to eliminate his competition. I swear it on my subligar. Lower your voice, Hotch. My head stings enough without your bloody shouting. Hutchin, should you not be resting your wounds? Oh, but forgive your incompetent, unworthy comrade. If I had been quicker with my mantra, we would still be 4 men strong. Do not berate yourself so, Haimo. In victory and in defeat, the Montravilles fight as one. You bear no more responsibility for my wounds than I. Any road, I dare say I'll not be getting back into fighting Fettle. I'll not be getting back into fighting Fettle by arsing about in bed. I'm ready to chant some mantras. How about the lot of you? Hutchin, for you, I am always ready. Now, that's what I like to hear. 1,000 mantras, and I want each one to ring out over the Sigoli. The Mantravilles? Aye, as Hutchin tells it, they took their name from a training partner they met at the Fist of Ralger, a man they most admired for his devotion and chiseled physique. Consider me not the least bit interested. This talk of attacks on competitors, however, of this I would hear more. Ah, yes, I mentioned that strange things were afoot, yes? With mere days left before the Mithril Cup, a staggering number of would-be combatants have withdrawn, citing a host of curious ailments and injuries. With the list of entrants shrinking by the day, the organizers have been forced to abandon the elimination format in favor of a mass melee between what few battlers remain. The Phantom Thief's challenge. Gladiators dropping like flies. No, this is no mere coincidence. I would speak to the individual in charge of the event. Where might I find him? Though the concern sponsors the tourney, the day-to-day organizational duties are being handled by a fellow by the name of Dower Meadow. He should be in his office within the Coliseum halls. I'll send word to the gateman, Yuyubaya. He owes the Mithril Eye a favor or two. Splendid. Come, we've got a case to crack. From the Mithril Eye, you say? Then by all means, you are free to enter. Oh, completely unrelated. But in the last quest, or actually I want to say it was when Gilgamesh was first introduced. Do you remember he had just defeated somebody and taken their sword?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that was Hoary Boulder. It looked like him, what little bit we could see of him. And we had just met him in the quest line around the time this would have been released. So... I am Ellie, reporter for the Mithril Eye. Never blinking, all-seeing. You know the deal, yes? And you must be Dower Meadow. I was hoping I could ask you a few questions about the upcoming tourney. Ha! Who am I to argue with free publicity? And from a charming little thing like yourself. Ask away, my girl. That said, between the challenge from this so-called Phantom Thief and now these bizarre attacks targeting the fighters, our tourney's already the talk of the town. Not that you'll see me complaining, provided someone's still left to fight, that is. You're free to investigate as you wish, but you'd be smart to exercise some caution. Needless to say, recent events have everyone here a bit on edge. Just a few moments ago, one fighter almost took off another's head for insulting the color of his super... Looks like we've got ourselves another... Those two aren't in the entry books. and our challenger unleashes a vicious right hook as the gentleman inspector was channeling his inner strength for his next attack. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. Inspector Briarden, as efficient as ever, I see. A true gentleman eschews violence, Inspector. You were thinking. It annoyed me. Dower Meadow, I presume. Tell me everything you can about the prizes for this tourney, and try to be brief. I was wondering when you might ask. Master Fergus has spared no expense in making the Mithril Cup the most lucrative tourney in this Coliseum's ever seen. The victor will receive a true treasure from his collection, the Warden's Grace, a ring fitted with the largest sun sphere you'll find outside a cairn. The second and third place prizes are nothing to sneeze at either. But I don't care how many faces he's got. We've nothing to fear from this thief. The concern has hired an elite regiment of stone torches to watch over the vault day and night. Yes, just as the brass blades were so successful in stopping the thief last time. If you want your treasures safe, go fetch them and bring them to me. And be quick about it. I haven't all day. Yeah, I can't do that, Inspector. After all, what proof do you have that you ain't the Mr. Many Faces in another one of his elaborate get-ups? No, if you want to get your hands on the spoils, you'll have to claim them as any other would in battle. As a matter of fact, what with the ranks thinned as they are, we're actively recruiting new competitors. The more the merrier, and the more lucrative at that. Now, where did our receptionist get off to? Over here, you slimy bugger. We've got some fresh blood for the melee. Give me a moment, will ya? I've only got 8 arms. Or were they legs? You called? I was just about to give this lovely Miss Avila the grand tour. Inspector Hildibrand, look, he's purple. Astute as ever, Nashu. This color, this overabundance of appendages. I smell a case. That's my receptionist, Ultros. Don't be startled now. He's an ugly little bugger, but he's friendly enough. Word has it he was one of many bizarre creatures born from an ancient experiment with a recent experiment with ancient incantations at the Thaumaturge's Guild. They were going to seal him away in a hole in the desert with the others, when he opened his slobbering mouth and started pleading for his life. I just want to live in peace. I'll do anything. So the management hired him to perform odd jobs about the Coliseum. And I am ever glad they did. I tell you, this job ain't glamorous, but it sure has its perks. What a delicious morsel. I want to get my tentacles around her. I know not who you are or where you hail from, and I do not care. You dare challenge me, my Tempest Blade will show you no mercy. You can forget about your case, Inspector. There is only one who will claim the victor's spoils, and that is me. Oh, I just love it when she talks tough. Now, who's the chump who wanted to get a pummeling by my lovely little Avi? Though a gentleman takes far more pride in rescuing fair damsels than fighting them, I fear we have little recourse. I, Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, shall do what must be done to... You will be entering the tournament on my behalf. But you do look like it. Well, bugger me with a spear. To think that I'd see the day when the Warrior of Light stood in my Colosseum. Hear that clink, clink, clinking? That's the sound of gil pouring into our coffers. When the public finds out that a true Eorzean hero will be stepping into the ring to fight for the Mithril Cup. Oh, and I reckon your friend can tag along too. Show him where to sign up, Ulti. I suppose we have as good a chance as any. Now, we just need to make sure that he doesn't come down with some curious injury. The Gladiatrix, Avila, was it? Seemed quite certain of her chances at victory. Suspiciously certain, I would say. Ha! I'm already 10 steps ahead of you, Inspector. That Ultros fellow seemed most knowledgeable about Miss Avila. Come, Nashu. The investigation is afoot. As much as that sounds like an amazingly productive line of investigation, might I suggest that our first priority is to keep him here safe? Let us return to Gandelon and see what else he can tell us that these mysterious attacks on the combatants. Very well, I shall leave the task to you. I have a lead of my own to investigate. Should you uncover any new information, I trust you will share it with me at your first opportunity. Oh, and last night I asked if we had run into Inspector Baradin on another quest. When we were in Ishgard at some point, we had to do one of those quests where we had to just stand there and various NPCs would approach us and we would talk to them. Briarden was one of them.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and I told you where Gilgamesh came from, how he was kind of the gag recurring boss in Final Fantasy V.
Yeah.
Well, in Final Fantasy VI, there was a gag recurring boss as well. His name was Ultros. He was an octopus.
Nice.
Also, just at the end of Final Fantasy VI, you would find Ultros working as a receptionist at the arena. So... You again. I've already told you what... What? Enter the tourney, you say? Are you out of your bleeding mind? Look, I've got a suspicion or two, which I'm happy to share with you. But in the end, you have to protect yourself, you hear? So I've been asking around, and it seems that more than a few of the fighters who pulled out of the tourney were scheduled to fight a warrioress by the name of Avila. Now, I can't make any promises, but my instincts tell me this girl is bad news. But don't take it from me when you hear it. Don't take it from me when you can hear it from someone who crossed blades with her just a few days ago. A fellow by the name of Raging Rat had the misfortune of being matched up with Avila in the preliminary round, and earned himself a right bruising from it all. Last I heard, he was resting up back at the Pugilist Guild. Why don't you pay him a visit?
Raging Rat.
That's a great Coliseum fighter name, isn't it?
Yeah.
He didn't even make it to the Pugilist Guild. He's resting outside. Come to have a good laugh at old Raging Rat's expense, have you? Well, you're not the first, I say. Is there not a man in this entire realm with an ounce of sympathy? Greetings, good sir. How fortunate you are today that your guest is Hildibrand Manderville, gentleman and inspector. Now, if you would, please enlighten me how exactly it was that you were beaten to a bloody pulp by Miss Avila. Gentleman my arse, have you not a whit of delicacy? Never you mind. Look at the record. Look, the records may say I lost, but I'll admit to nothing of the sort. I'll shout it to the top of my lungs if no one else will. That girl doesn't fight fair. Tempest Blade, that's some kind of foul sorcery if you ask me. Mark my words, that girl is up to no good. If she weren't so damned easy on the eyes, she'd be rotting in jail as we speak. The girl's Ala Megan, or haven't you heard? You know how it is with those refugees. Why fight with honor when you've got nothing to lose? Yes, and why not disparage an entire people in a pathetic attempt to salvage your sorry pride? This one's a real piece of work. Let's be on our way. I didn't mean no offense, miss. Just telling you like it is, as it were. Perhaps it truly is some manner of sorcery, as the fellow says. Or perhaps she works with an accomplice. She didn't strike me as a magic-wielding type. If I were a betting woman, I'd put my gill on the latter. Ah, Miss Ellie, the thrill of the chase has struck a chord with you as well. Yes, I can see it in the wrinkles beneath your eyes. We might very well make an inspectress of you yet. I'll give you a good wrinkle, you insensitive boor. If what the man says is true, it's likely that her fellow Alamegans might sympathize with her plight. An accomplice would hardly be out of the question. Yes, I can see it now. Two unfortunate souls shunned by those around them, united by destiny and a common desire for justice. Ample appendages whirling wildly, sending gusts of wind flying every which way. Avila and Ulti, a match made in the heavens. Were it any more obvious, I could have solved this case without leaving my home. Incredible! Your powers of deduction never failed to amaze, Inspector. What is it with you two and that infernal octopus? Master Ultros should still be at the Colosseum. Let us hurry before he slithers back to whensoever he came.
What the hell? Shake your head at me and run off? Isn't this him now? Oh, here.
Friend, and look over yonder. Behold those exquisite legs, those stylish tentacles, the unearthly undulations of his squirmy, squishy body. Yes, our friend Ulti is a most fascinating creature indeed. Behold how he carefully eyes the gladiatrix before him. What manner of mischief is he plotting? He speaks. Yes, this is a most suspicious indeed. Oh, what is this? The girl has fled in panic. Our friend Ulti appears to be discouraged. Look at the way his shoulders sag. Or how they would sag if he had shoulders. Our quarry is on the move. Quickly, Nashu. We must pursue. And I believe when I started skipping stuff is right here. Mr. Ulti seems to have found himself another gladiatrix. What might he be plotting this time? Look at those succulent legs. I reckon they taste just wonderful in a good marinara sauce. Marinara sauce. Oh, he speaks. And another girl rushes off. Whatever did he say to her? He looks so sad. Shall we douse him in lemon butter and put him out of his misery, Inspector? Whatever is he doing with these girls, anyway? Call me crazy, but I think he likes them? Hildibrand is contemplating the implications of Ultros's behavior. Poor misunderstood Ulti. Here we suspected him of criminal activity, when in truth he is just a gentle soul, luckless in love. Oh, Ulti, can you find it in your squishy, slimy heart to forgive us? Yes, yes. Now perhaps we should return to our investigation. If Avila is as suspicious as they say, perhaps we should follow her around for a bit. Dour Meadow back in the Colosseum should be able to enlighten us as to her whereabouts. An excellent idea, Miss Ellie, but I have a better one. Let us return to the Colosseum and speak with Dour Meadow. From him we shall ascertain Miss Avila's whereabouts, upon which we can follow her. We shall follow her about and see if she is indeed as suspicious as they say. Come, Nashu, the investigation calls. Surprised Ellie didn't strangle him for that one. Don't think Uncle Ulti didn't see you following me. What's the big idea, eh? I'm nothing more than a stupid octopus. Or am I? Come on now. I just want what any octopus wants. A cute girl, untold riches, and the admiration of millions. Can't Uncle Ulti dream? Well, kids, hate to ink and run. Then again, I am an octopus. Yes? What is it this time? I'm a busy man. Looking for Avila, you say? Said something about sharing a flagon with her countrymen over at the Colfer and Colfin. I reckon you'll still find her there. I'll warn you, though. If you're smart, you'll keep your distance from that one. That poor bugger Ganlian tried to interview her for an article. Thought the girl was gonna rip his head clean off. How can I put this? She doesn't seem to take kindly to being asked questions of a personal nature, if you catch my drift. That said, if you're looking for a good sparring match to warm up for the tourney, that might be just the ticket. I can assure you there will be no need for gratuitous fisticuffs, my good sir. With my remarkable powers of espionage, we will ascertain all the information we need without the fiery lass even being alerted to our presence. Let us be off. Hildibrand's going to try stealth. A building's going to explode, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Just remember, this place isn't even in Old Ah. Behold, the lovely Miss Avila, just as predicted. Let us keep watch from here, so as to not set off the girl's famed temper. How many times must I tell you? There is no cause for concern. The spoil shall be mine. It may as well be written stone. You realize what this means? We have suffered, and suffered long. But my victory shall mark a new era. Just as Rabban al-Din won a new life from himself at the Colosseum, I shall win a new life for our people. The prize that I shall claim will bolster the wealth of our people 1,000, no, 10,000-fold. In a land where wealth is power, we will be kicked to the gutter by the Oldans no longer. And with that, I must be off to the Nanawa mines to meet my sister. Miss Avila's self-assurance is ever a sight to behold. I deduce that my chances of felling her on the field of battle are infinitesimal. Could have told you that before you signed up. Come, now we have a suspect to pursue. Trying to steal Avila from Uncle Ulti's tentacles, are you? I'm afraid that isn't going to happen. Yes, Uncle Ulti's homemade explosive will see that this is the end of the road for you. Does that make me a bad octopus? Ah, the distinctive smell of fire sand. Another one of your handcrafted explosives, I take it, Nashu? Heavens no, Inspector. This is far too elaborate to be one of mine. Do you think whoever crafted this would be willing to give me a lesson? They're on to me. Preposterous. Could it be that Musclehead isn't as stupid as he looks? I see. In any event, I shudder to think what might happen if an unsuspecting passerby chanced upon such a hazardous object. Allow me. Heave ho! You gotta be kidding me! Tonight I'm a chauffeur.
I was thinking that when we first got in. To the mine, please.
That maiden in mining garb must be the sister of whom Miss Avila spoke. Let us listen a bit closer. Thought we agreed. No hard labor until your leg is healed. Swear, sometimes I think you were born solely to give your poor sister headaches. Says the girl who once fought off 10 Imperials with one good arm. Perhaps someday you'll understand that your little sister could take care of herself just as well as you. Speaking of which, what news of the tourney? Worry not, Hegelina. I have taken all the necessary precautions. The Warden's grace is as good as ours. Even the most modest estimates value its worth at some 30 million gil. You realize what this means? Necklaces from Eshtemez, sun silk dresses, all the luxuries you ever wanted will be yours. The poor little girls in shabby clothes, objects of pity and scorn for the Oldan upper crust. Those days are over. After I claim victory, we will take our rightful place at the top of society. I don't know, Avi. Wealth is all well and good, but when I see you stand tall in the Colosseum, hundreds and thousands cheering your name. I'm proud. No matter how humble our birth, if we stand strong and stand together, this alone is all the wealth I ask for. That is your problem, Hegelina. You've always been too quick to settle for less than you're worth. But worry not, for your sister is watching over you. I will do this for us. Now, I must return. God forbid one of those prying reporters overhears us. That's my Avi, unfazed by a duel to the death, yet terrified to be caught in a moment of tenderness. May the gods smile on you, sister, and be safe. A more moving display of sisterly love I have not seen, and yet I fear it has afforded us little in the way of prospective clues. It would seem Avila's obsession with victory runs even deeper than we imagined. That said, I can't help but feel a bond with the girl. My sister and I were alone in the world too, you see. Inspector, did you just hear what I heard? Look, kids, Uncle Alty has had it up to here with you. You think you could just fall in this pit and die like a good little boy? I'm talking to you, Mr. Warrior of Light. Hear that sound? Just one step closer. Closer. No, not you, you idiot. No need for concern, my friends. I have simply taken the liberty of investigating this hole in the ground, and I am pleased to report that there seems to be nothing out of the ordinary. Our hero. Now, should we return to Ul'dah? The Mithril Cup will be starting before long, and the last thing we want after all this is to lose our bout by forfeit. Could it be? Did that musclehead dive straight into my trap to save his companions? The others seem completely unsurprised at this turn of events. Doubtlessly he has performed such selfless acts before. A true gentleman if I ever saw one. But if you think that means I'm going to show mercy on you, you've got another thing coming. Time to break out the big guns, kids. Wait a minute. I dug 2 pits, didn't I? Come to think of it, the second one was right around... Give me a break!
All safe, no pit.
Yes? Is something the matter? We're on something of a tight schedule here, Inspector. Stand back, Miss Ellie. My well-honed inspector senses are tingling. I feel a fearsome adversary lurking about. This time you're really up the creek without a paddle, kids. Say hello to a not so little friend of mine from the Colosseum. He's large, he's in charge, and most of all, he's hungry. Where in the world is he? I haven't got all day. My chimera! Who is that half-naked fool? Father, could it be that the aura of unmitigated murderous rage that I felt was not our quarry, but you? Hildy, I was merely taking a stroll in search of inspiration and materials for my newest masterpiece in the making. And what brings you and your friends to these parts today? Just a bit of sleuth work, Father dear. And with that, we must return to Ul'dah. If you have not heard, your son is set to compete for the Mithril Cup. Oh, moonlighting as a gladiator, are we? A fitting second career for a Manderville man, if I do say so myself. That muscle-bound old man is the inspector's father? Remind me to never go to one of their family reunions. Just who is this inspector, anyway? Hildy is a worthy rival, if ever there were. Who goes there? Hildy, I have been waiting for this day. Looky who we have here. You're quite the intimidating gent yourself. A friend of the inspector, mayhap? I am Gilgamesh, wandering duelist, and I am not so much the inspector's friend as his enemy. Well, that makes two of us. Perk up, Gulliver, Perk up, Gulliver, cause this is just might be our lucky day. Is there no one in this accursed realm who can remember my... Call me what you will, friend, but heed my words. He is a formidable foe. That sounded like high praise coming from a big fella like yourself. To have such a powerhouse as his sidekick, that inspector must be something else indeed. I know not what brings you to do battle with these two, but I warn you, you will end up as seafood soup if you face them alone. And with that, I must be off. For reasons that I do not entirely understand, I am considered something of a fugitive in these parts. I will not fall so easily this time. Well, looks like I've got my legs full. All 8 of them. But if that adventurer is too strong to take on alone, I'll just have to bring along a friend. A supply twisting ring calling to mind the undulations of a creature of the sea. Yes, inspiration has struck. Nobody here but us octopuses. Look forward to your next life as a masterpiece, friend. Muscleheads. I hate them. I need to AFK for a second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Me too.
And I am back.
Welcome back. KJ's AFK.
Eh? Good heavens. Chancing upon father like that. I dare say it's taken a year off my life. Quite a crowd has assembled. It would seem the festivities are nigh about to commence. I had hoped to uncover more of Miss Avila's secrets, but no matter. What better place to continue my investigation than upon the field of battle? Hildibrand appears to be in something of a hurry. Good heavens, we haven't much time before the tourney begins. We must hasten back to the Colosseum and appraise ourselves on the rules of engagement. To a true gentleman, the battle is not about victory or defeat, but fighting with honor. Whatever treachery or guile my opponents may employ, I must not, I will not lower myself to their level.
What if he loses with an arrow in the back? Accidents happen.
Well, that's why we're entered in the tournament as well. Fail safe for when he inevitably loses.
I'm the arrow wielder.
I wasn't asking questions.
Oh, okay. Stabby, stabby, stabby.
Bumps on the head, chipped teeth. I am one shabby looking octopus, I tell you. They don't pay me enough for this. But that's all going to change soon, isn't it, buddy? Ah, Mr. Ultros, just the octopus we were looking for. I was hoping that you might enlighten us on... Ye gads, who gave you those ghastly bruises? Bruises? I fell down the stairs, that's all. Now, get lost, I'm a busy octopus. Ah, you have my sympathies, good sir. It is challenge enough to coordinate 4 limbs, let alone 8. Is there someone inside your office? No. Whatever gave you that idea? I'm simply fumigating the place for pests like yourself. Now, don't you have a battle to go fight? Inspector, I think there's something live in there. That's just me and talking to myself. Yes. Working as a receptionist is fun. Battered, bruised, beset by vermin, and still able to find joy and fulfillment in your work. I say, Mr. Ultros, your passion for your chosen profession is truly an inspiration to us all. If you would come with me for a moment, I fear the stupidity in the air might be contagious. Well, has your investigation borne any fruit? Let's see. Avila seeks to win the tourney, to claim the fortune and raise her and her sister out of poverty. Furthermore, she has implied that she has taken the necessary precautions to ensure that her victory is all but certain. While trailing her, you narrowly evaded a series of dastardly obstacles. And upon your return, the strange octopus appeared considerably worse for the wear. The evidence points in one direction. The Alamegan girl and Ultros are plotting together to claim the Mithril Cup and its lucrative prize. It is not as preposterous as it sounds. I have done some research on our 8-legged friend. It would appear that Ultros has been something of a regular at Ulda's taverns and houses of pleasure. I suspect that he is using his inside knowledge of the workings of the Colosseum to identify and eliminate potential threats, thereby ensuring victory for Avila and earning himself a healthy commission. There is also the matter of the Tempest Blade that is rumored to be the source of the Alamegan girl's strength. This remains a mystery, which means I fear your life is still in danger. One of the guards informed me that several crates of refuse from the Coliseum reception room were hastily discarded in Pearl Lane not bells ago. It is a stab in the dark, but the contents may yet provide some answers. I would ask that you bring them to me.
No, that's just not right. Always
Hmm?
gotta be poop. Where do we gotta go?
Sapphire.
Always have to have poop quests.
Well, this looks to be old boxes, so maybe it's not.
Did you open the box?
No. I'm gonna let Briarden do that.
Oh, well then, okay. If it's duct tape shut, don't open it.
Well, let me see what you found. A large wooden box containing all sorts of detritus gathered from the Colosseum. Something in it, some of it still twitching. Now, what have we here? Ah, yes, a spectacular assortment of innards and entrails, and what's this? A sack even more foul-smelling than the gore it was lying in, if that could be believed. Look here, something appears to be written on the side. Centigot Sundries. It would seem this merchant had had dealings with the squishy mass of tentacles. Let us pay a visit to the man and have him enlighten us as to what the exact nature of their partnership. Back to Sapphire. Welcome, welcome. What might a discerning gentleman like yourself be looking for today? The stinking sack. Battlefields the day after slaughter smell better than the unknown contents of this bag. I'm sorry, sir, but if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. No exchanges, replacements, or refunds. I stand by the quality of my wares, and I expect my customers to do the same. Wait, now, did Ultros send you? I'll be asking the questions here. What exactly did you sell to that ungodly creature? Why, an entire sack full of gold truffles. Can you believe it? What with the impressive price and that distinctive aroma, they're only for the most discerning of customers, which Master Ultros is, as he just placed another order today. Could these truffles somehow be connected to... No. I shall stop myself before I start sounding like... Inspector Briarden, it wounds me that you would sneak off to conduct your investigation without me, and to steal him away here. This gentleman is not impressed. Did you find anything, Inspector? Good gods, what is that dreadful smell? Miss Ellie, I would have expected a cultured young woman like yourself to be more educated in the Epicurean arts. That is the most distinctful and delightful aroma of the golden truffle. An acquired taste, to be sure, but one that has won the heart of many an Oldon gourmet. I particularly enjoy them slow roasted, as my dear mother makes them. Roasted, you say? Why, my mouth's watering just thinking about it. Might I be so bold as to ask for the recipe? It appears the productive portion of this conversation has come to an end. Besides, the tourney is about to begin. Let us make haste back to the Colosseum. Briarden has seen enough incompetence for the day. Well, that merchant proved to be a spectacular waste of time. Time which is in short supply. We must return to the Colosseum before the battles begin. Here is the plan. I shall find a suitable vantage point to observe Miss Avila in combat. Until I have ascertained the trickery behind her abilities, you are to keep a wide berth of her blade. Understood? There you are. I was this close to starting the melee without you. I'll be remiss not to tell you that there's been a slight change of plans. Another contestant suffered a last-minute injury, and none other than our very own Ultros has stepped in to take his place. With everyone's favorite octopus joining you two in the fray, spectators are just pouring in, and bookmakers across town are raking in the gill, which ain't a bad thing for us. Word has it that Master Fergus himself is quite taken with my promotional skills. Aye, the future's looking bright for old Dower Meadow, it is. So, what say you? Are you ready to get your arses kicked? Aye, that's what I like to hear. Ladies and gents, it's time for blades to whirl and limbs to fly. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, plutocrats and paupers, open your eyes and steel your stomachs. The Mithril Cup, brought to you by our ever-charitable friends at Almagina and Sons Mineral Concern. Your concern is our concern, is about to begin. Who will stand atop the heap of maimed bodies and twisted limbs to claim victory? Will it be the tempestuous Avila of Alamigo, the famed warrior of light, or who was this grinning fool again? Ah, that's right, Humberbatch, agent of infamy and imbecile extraordinaire. Or will it be our 11th hour entry, Ultros, the eight-legged purple purveyor of pain? Here I am. Did you miss me? I'd say we have a battle for the ages here, folks. Combatants, take your positions and let the battles begin. Alright, you know the deal. We team up and wipe out the others, then when it's just the two of us, I'll take a dive. And you receive your share of the winnings. I have not forgotten our promise. Look at Avila's blade spin. Why, she's a veritable whirlwind of death and destruction out there. They breed 'em tough in Alamigo, that's for certain. You are next. Here we go, ladies and gents. Once my buddy gets a whiff of these raw truffles, he'll be sneezing up a storm. Literally. And nothing like the rich aroma of roasted truffles. All this Fighting is giving Uncle Ulti an appetite. Is it time for dinner yet? Wait a minute. Roasted truffles? Braised in a savory sauce, just like Mother used to make 'em. Feel free to have seconds. There's a whole sack full where that came from. That meddling musclehead. It's taking him so damn long. The girl's gaze gives it away. Open that gate at once. What is that monstrosity? Mr. Typhon, is that your stomach I hear rumbling? Could I interest you in some roasted truffles, perhaps? What fascinating friends you have, Ulti. Why, just look at this charming little nose. Is he perhaps suffering from a case of the sniffles? Could it be Avila's vaunted Tempest Blade? It was that monster all along. The girl played us for fools. Don't look at me. It was all her idea. I'm just a stupid octopus. You were the one who approached me, you double-dealing fiend. I just wanted to experience the thrill of battle. You know, for my work and all. Come on, Dower. Has Uncle Ulti ever lied to you? What did I tell you? I knew there was something fishy about that Alamegan whore. Alamegans. Beggars, brutes, the lot of them. We give them a home. We give them a home in our lands, and this is the thanks we get. Send her to Garlemald for all I care. Just get her out of my sight before I get sick. I just wanted to... My sister. I feel for the girl. Really. My little octopus heart goes out to her. But the rules are the rules, right? Now, if Uncle Ulti may be so bold... I said we call off the melee and have the final showdown between the 3 remaining competitors. That would be me, my buddy Typhon, and the Warrior of Light here. What do you say, Mr. Warrior of Light? Aye, that's what we wanted to see. Ultros, Ultros, Ultros. Well, this is a most unprecedented turn of events, but who am I to deny the wishes of a passionate crowd of martial arts aficionados? The venue, Halatali, the fighters, the tag team of Ultros and Typhon versus the Warrior of Light, who will be left standing when the storm has settled? Be there, or miss the battle of the ages. You did notice Hildibrand stuck in the ceiling, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Already forgotten.
So to review, the truffles were to elicit a sneeze from the octopus's oversized crony, which would be positioned so as to appear as if it was coming from the Alamegan girl's blade, allowing the two to sweep away their opponents with ease. No wonder I wasn't able to see it sooner. It's quite possibly the most imbecilic scheme I've encountered in my years as a consulting inspector. At any rate, we have no choice but to trust in your abilities now. Let us make for Hatali. I feel like this set needs a little hat. Well, this tourney's turned into a right mess. With all the trouble I took preparing consolation prizes for the melee, it looks like we won't be needing them after all. Of course, as long as you're bringing in the spectators and the profits, I could give a gnat's arse. Now, I know what you're thinking. 2 against 1 ain't fair, especially when one of the 2 is the size of a small house. So here's the deal. Why don't you bring along some of your friends for the battle? Let's say 7 of them? That should even the odds, eh?
Oh, this is normally an 8-man raid.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is the one that Zora and I had to do right before right before we streamed last night.
Mm.
Oh, and Typhon was also in Final Fantasy VI. He showed up a couple times with Ultros. And his power was he would sneeze, and anybody who got hit by the sneeze was knocked out of the battle.
They do him and the Golden Saucer.
That is true. And you have a pet to roll on. Actually, reminds me, did you both get the chicken last night, or was it just one of you?
Nothing came up for me.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right.
What chicken?
Never mind. I was thinking. I was confusing something else.
So need.
Mm-hmm. Yay!
Technically, you could pass, because as soon as we get out of here, I'm going to run us through here again, so you can both get it.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
It drops every time. So.
There's probably a ton of these in the auction house, aren't there?
I don't know. They're listed as unique untradeable, so no.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Good show. Your performance has earned us a front row seats at the awards ceremony. This should afford the perfect vantage point to thwart the thief. Come, let us return to the Coliseum. It was a battle for the ages, but a worthy victor has risen to claim the spoils. And now, let's take a look at the relic that our champion has won. Behold, from the personal vaults of Master Fergus himself, the Warden's Grace, a timeless treasure the likes of which the realm has never seen. One that's earned the attention of Eorzea's most prominent pilferer. Above you. Ladies and gentlemen, inspectors and invertebrates, The opening act dragged on over long, but worry not, the main event is about to begin. I know that you paid well for your seats here today, but I can assure you that my performance will not leave you disappointed. Now, I invite you, one and all, to sit back and enjoy the show.
Eye on the ring, people.
Vile fiend, mark my words, you have stolen your last treasure. I swear it on the Manderville name. I think not, Hildibrand. Greg? 'Tis always a pleasure to reunite with old friends, but your timing truly leaves something to be desired. You bested me once, but not today. I shall have my revenge when I pierce your chest with my spear. Do you not mean your skewer? My spear! Vile thief! Is there not a shred of honor in you? Return my weapon at once! Oh, it seems we have an unexpected guest. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I fear attendance at today's performance is by invitation only. Now it's raining truffles? But the battle's already... Mr. Typhon? Just a moment. I'm sure I had a tissue here somewhere. Alas and alack! The ring sails straight into the hands of the fiend. Giving up so soon, are we? Those don't sound like the words of a Manderville man. I love the sound effects when he's walking.
Mm-hmm.
But, of course! Brilliant, Father! If the ring won't come to me, I shall go to the ring. Why, it'll be just like Dalamud. Hildibrand, Heliodor, Maximilian Manderville. Skyward, as only a Manderville can. Father, you don't know your own strength. $997, $998, $990. These legs, they look strangely familiar. Ah, put a little too much spin on that one, it seems. Not exactly as planned, but who can argue with the results? Save for one thing. This ring is a fake. But no matter. I have a feeling this will lead to the true treasure. Until next time, friends, you have been most attentive audience. The key! Bloody hells! Guards, seize the fiend at once. It's too late, sir. The second prize, the Ring of Inquiry, it's gone. Second prize? What is the meaning of this? Many-faced fiend or no, the man spoke true. A master goldsmith's eyes cannot be deceived. This sun sphere is clearly a second-rate replica. Preposterous. It's just the dim lighting. Yes, you'll just step over here. Have you taken ill, friend? You seem to be perspiring most heavily. Let's not be so hasty, friends. I can explain. I sold out my honor, joined forces with that odious octopus, all for a false treasure. What a fool I have been. Whatever was I thinking? Do not berate your so, Miss Avila. Why, it was exactly as you said, was it not? You were thinking of dear Hegelina and nothing more. I suppose I was at that. How do you know my sister's name? I assure you, young miss, under no circumstances did I tail you to the Nawana mines and eavesdrop on your intimately personal dialogue with your beloved sister. Uh, you, you, you have the right of it. Blinded by the prospect of fortune and fame, I lost sight of myself and what I truly was fighting for. My honor and my sister's trust will not be easily regained. I will not shirk from the challenge. One mystery still remains. Before the thief had identified the ring as fake, he had already acquired the key to the storeroom. Clearly, the second prize, this ring of inquiry, was his target from the start. But why? There must be some pattern to the items he has stolen. A pattern that betrays his true intentions. The treaty blade, Azimia's virtue, the ring of inquiry, all relics with quite a history, or to be more precise, relic from the era of the Beldadians. Beladians. Oh, if that is so, the answer is clear as day. The fiend means to found Eorzea's greatest museum of Beldian history. Pushes up the prices and gouging honest men out of their hard-earned coin. Doubtless another one of his cards will appear on the scene to tell us just as such.
She's fall asleep in the back.
I have enjoyed our little game, but all good things must come to an end. I shall claim the 4 sacred treasures, and justice shall be served. So this is the thief's final challenge to us. And what are these 4 treasures of which he speaks? Where the 4 treasures of Belladia become one, the wicked shall be judged in the blazing light of the sun. An old legend, little more than a fairy tale at that. And yet it seems the Phantom believes there is some truth in the words. Four sacred relics from Belladia. The Warden's Justice. Lofty words coming from a glorified footpad. One who's winning over the common folk by the day, if rumors are to be believed. It would seem the tales of a masterful thief ruffling the feathers of the rich and famous have won the man more than a few admirers. Consider his targets thus far. An old Don collector and her hired thugs, a trading mogul in the brass blades, and now a mining magnate in the stone torches. Is it any surprise that the sympathies of ordinary old Dons would lie with the perpetrator rather than his victims? Astutely observed, Miss Ellie. Our quarry clearly harbors no small degree of resentment for wealth and authority. Might his next target be a member of the syndicate? Perhaps the Sultana herself? Aha! Then it will be to his downfall. For the greater the challenge, the higher I rise. Just one moment, if you would. Mark my words, ye of many faces. There is but one man who shall lay claim to the 4 lost relics of Belladia, and it shall be Hildibrand, agent of inquiry and inspector extraordinaire. Yes, I am sure that inspires us all with great confidence. Is that? No, it couldn't be. Methinks Godbert may need a new pair of spectacles. It's a race to recover the 4 lost relics of Belladia, as the fiend's true identity and aspirations are revealed. Will Eorzea fall prey to the forces of evil? Or will our hero do what only a Manderville can? The key to the next case is a mask. Have you ever worn a mask for so long that you forgot what you actually looked like? I have. And how did they freeze in midair like that? Talk about a mystery. Oh well, see you next time. Ellie would share with you a shocking new turn in the Phantom Thief case. Was wondering when you'd show up. I hope you haven't made any plans for the night, because we've got a situation on our hands. Remember our good friend the Phantom Thief? Well, it seems he's decided to branch out from burglary into cold-blooded murder. If the rumors are to be believed, he's claimed 3 victims already, all influential members of Uldan society. Mr. Manyfaces has been kind enough to leave one of his signature calling cards at every scene, leaving no doubt as to the identity of the murderer. The messages are always the same. The weight of 5 corpses will bring the scales of justice to balance. More riddles. Not that you'll hear me complaining. No, the only thing my readers like more than a good mystery is a good murder mystery. Ever since the story broke, the Mithril Eye's been selling like Pond's cakes. The only rub is that it's left me with no time to look into the thief's last message. Until now, that is. Shall we? The hidden treasure of Old Da, was it? If there's anyone who could shed some light on that, or shed some light on this, it's you know who, to Sunsilk Tapestries. Well now, if it ain't my favorite venturer, and my favorite Mithril Eye reporter, along with him. Tell me, what have I done to deserve the pleasure of your company today? I see. As much as I'd like to help 2 of my best mates, I'm afraid you've found old Wyman at a loss. Old Da has more than its fair share of treasures, hidden and otherwise. I reckon our Phantom Thief could be after just about any of them. I can tell you this much, though. Whatever the thief's got his eye on, it's got the Sultan sworn at its right. It's got the Sultan sworn in a right dither. Word has it they formed a regiment of their best and brightest to safeguard the royal vaults for this very threat. The Sultan sworn aren't like to be forthcoming with information, but it's the only lead we've got. Come on. I'd say it's time we paid a visit to the heart of the sworn. Oi, hold up there, Ellie. I ain't generally the worrying type, but you may want to think twice before getting yourselves involved in this. A man in my business develops a nose for danger, and this time the stench is something fierce. You're a reporter, Ellie, and a fine one at that. Don't put that pretty neck of yours at risk of trying to play hero. Your concern is touching, but I can assure you that I am ready for whatever dangers lie ahead. Besides, being a reporter is about more than selling papers. I have a duty to seek out the truth and convey it to the people. Come, time is of the essence. Alright, I hate to do it, but I think we're probably going to need to stop here, because I almost fell asleep twice while reading that. So.
Okay. All good.
All right.
Give me just a second, I'll wind down the stream.
Okay.
Alright, guys. Like I said, I'm getting sleepy. So, I'm going to need to call it here for the night. I will be back tomorrow with more Final Fantasy VII Remake. Until then, I want to thank y'all for joining me. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll see y'all next time. Have a good night.